Our gospel passage on this third Sunday of Lent is taken from St. John, the story of the encounter between Jesus and the Samaritan woman at Jacob's well in Sychar, which is Samaritan territory. We have been reflecting on the process of conversion, a process of God turning to us in patience and love, and hopefully we turning to God also, by constantly remembering how much He loves us. In the first reading from Exodus, the people Israel, upon experiencing thirst and dryness in the desert, suddenly grumbled and got angry at Moses. They have forgotten God's goodness to them. But God was patient and kind, and God gave them water, using the same staff of Moses that parted the waters. And this time, the same staff is used to allow water to come forth from a rock. So, the same staff is some sort of a remembering, telling the people, do you remember how much I cared for you? Do not forget. This is conversion. God patiently journeying with us in our forgetfulness, reminding us, and the people turning again to God. In the second reading from St. Paul's letter to the Romans, we see the process of conversion using the three theological virtues. Faith, which enables us, by God's grace, to correct our relationship with God. We will become just again in the eyes of God. But then when we fall, in spite of our faith, there is hope. The hope of glory, the hope of salvation. So we should not wallow in frustration and hopelessness. But how reliable is our hope? How do we know that God really continues to offer love to us? Then remember His love. Remember how much God has loved us, especially through and in Jesus Christ. So through the three virtues, faith, hope, and love, there is a constant impetus for us to turn to God, who constantly offers His life to us. In a narrative form, the encounter between Jesus and the Samaritan woman can be a description of some key moments of what we call the process of conversion. Let me indicate three. The first is Jesus waiting, as it were, for the woman in the well. A conversion story happens or starts with Jesus' initiative. Jesus is there as though waiting for us to encounter us. Remember, Jesus got to the well before the woman got there. Jesus had already been there as though waiting for her to come. And look at the simplicity of the beginning of such an encounter. Jesus, a tired, thirsty traveler, just like his ancestors in the desert, begged the woman for water. An ordinary request, but as though telling the woman, you are important to me. You matter to me. In fact, I need you. You can give me something. Water. My dear brothers and sisters, not all conversion stories begin with something extraordinary. We are familiar with the story of St. Paul, on his way to Damascus, and this blinding light and mysterious voice from heaven, which led to his fall from the horse and his blindness. Well, that was Paul's experience. But in the experience of this woman, and maybe our experience, the beginning of conversion happens in very ordinary moments, ordinary times, ordinary places, as ordinary as a person asking us for water at the height of the heat of the sun at noon, in a definite place, a simple place, a fountain, a well. My dear brothers and sisters, remember, try to remember, where and how did the Lord encounter you? Don't look, as I said, for earth-shaking experiences. Maybe the call to conversion comes to us or has come to us in very ordinary, quiet events. Now the second stage. They started with water. The conversation centered on water, and then Jesus started talking about a different type of water. Life-giving water that will well forth from the heart of a person. And this caught the curiosity of this woman. The curiosity of this woman had already begun when Jesus asked for water, a Jew asking a Samaritan woman for water. And then came this strange language of living water, not found in any well, but found in the heart. And the giver is Jesus. And then Jesus tells the truth about this woman. Yes, the man you are living with is not your husband. In fact, you have had 5, so this is your 6th, woman. And this woman was suddenly amazed. Who are you? Are you the prophet? Why do you know me? Why do you know the truth about me? Yet probably the woman also, for the first time, encounters a man who knows the truth about her life, but does not condemn her. This man respects her. This man is compassionate towards her. This is the second stage of the woman's experience of conversion. God coming to her life as truth, but truth in love. Not truth that wants to destroy her, but truth that is love. And her eyes were opened. Are you the Messiah? The recognition of God's presence in Jesus, because He is the bearer of truth and love. My dear brothers and sisters, try to recall the times when we felt this deep love coming to us in spite of the truth of our sinfulness and frailty. I'm sure all of us have had such an experience when we were embraced and not condemned, when we were given hope, using the terminology of St. Paul in the second reading. That's a special encounter with God. And hopefully we could respond in the process called conversion. And the third moment, after this wonderful experience of being loved in the truth about myself, the woman becomes a missionary. She goes around the town telling people about Jesus. This is the peak of conversion. I do not encounter the Lord only for my own sake. I do not get to know the Lord and become close to the Lord and then I am brought back to my shell. No. The height of conversion is mission. If I had been drawn by the Lord to His heart, I should draw close to people and bring the truth and love of Jesus to others. This is the third item that I want to propose. So, first, the simplicity of encountering the Lord. And let us be aware that every moment can be a potential encounter with God, calling us to a change of heart. Secondly, Jesus encounters us as truth and love. we have nothing to fear. Let us allow Him to enter our hearts, our sinful past. He wants to enter because He loves us. And third, having encountered Him, go. Be a bearer of the good news. Let other people know Jesus and His love and truth. Let me close this sharing by reminding all of us of one of the first statements of Pope Francis, whose first anniversary as Pope we just celebrated. He said in one of his first Sunday Angelus messages, he said, God does not get tired of forgiving us. God does not get tired of running after us, encountering us to offer us new life. We are the ones who get tired coming to Him in order to ask for forgiveness. My dear brothers and sisters, as we thank God for the gift of Pope Francis, let us take to heart his word, which is, in a way, a reflection on the readings of today. Let us not be afraid of the call to conversion. God is there, tenderly present to us, reminding us of His love, of His mercy. Let us not get tired coming to Him. The word has been exposed. Let us now fulfill it.